My devil had been long caged. He came out roaring. Robert Louis Stevenson. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Before, on the Alpha Flight space station, Walter Lankowski is sitting through his performance review. However, it seems more like an intervention. Carol Danvers, the hero known as Captain Marvel, explains that her and the rest of the team are just concerned. Walter does good work for Alpha Flight, and she knows he has since before she led the operation. But lately, Walter has been much more aggressive in the field, and he's got a history when it comes to losing control. What's most concerning is that the team has been living on the space station for a year now, and every day they see a lot more of Sasquatch. But they never see Walter Lankowski at all. Why is that? After the review, Sasquatch dismisses himself to the locker room. He looks at himself in the mirror. A monster looks back.
Fine. You want Walter?
Sasquatch attempts to turn back into his human form. But something's wrong. It feels like something is holding him back, forcing him to stay turned. The transformation is more painful than it ever was before. Finally, when he turns back to Walter, he huffs.
Okay, that was tougher than it used to be. I should probably talk to someone.
Walter doesn't finish his thought. He checks his reflection again, and there's still a monster looking back at him. And now, Bruce sees his own monster looking back at him. Even off the slight reflection of the hospital directory, it yells and curses and hammers on the opposite end of the reflective surface, trying to get Bruce's attention, which probably isn't a good sign. Okay, Bruce turns to Jackie. You evacuate the hospital. I'll deal with Lankowski, or whatever he's become. Jackie stands to her feet. Wait a minute. You can't just... I've got questions. You owe me. I owe a lot of people everything, from stolen pants to ruined lives. Where you fall on the spectrum will have to wait. Yeah? So what happens now? I tell the people to run because a man might have risen from the dead? Why would they even believe me? Bruce opens the double doors leading to the operating room. The sounds of crying medical staff echoes through the corridor. Without looking, he tells Jackie, "You're a reporter, Ms. McGee. It's your job to make people believe you." The screaming will probably help. As Bruce walks down the hallway, he hears the emergency broadcast over the monitor. It's a code silver, ordering all staff and patients to evacuate immediately. It doesn't take him long to reach the operating room. Bruce pushes open the doors and sees Sasquatch licking the drips of blood off his fur. "Hello, Walter," Bruce tells him. "Can we talk?" Sasquatch sniffs the air.
I'm not Walter,
he hisses. Bruce, still trying to reason with Sasquatch, counters. and I'd rather talk to the real you. In reaction, Sasquatch slashes backwards. The tips of his claw shred through the skin on Bruce's neck, severing his corroded artery. Blood sprays into the air. Bruce collapses onto the ground and attempts to grab his neck to stop the bleeding.
It hurts to die, doesn't it, Bruce?
The puddle of blood beneath Bruce spreads. He is barely able to stutter a response.
Always.
Then, Bruce's eyes glow green. With his death, the change begins. Within seconds, he is turned once again. The Hulk pushes himself to his feet.
It always hurts, he tells Sasquatch. And when you hurt Banner, I take it personal.
The Jade Giant lunges forward and hits Sasquatch with a left hook powerful enough to send the monster flying across the room. He isn't finished. The Hulk steps forward.
So, you're not Lankowski. That fits,
he tells the beast before following up with a right uppercut that sends the Sasquatch crashing through the wall.
Lankowski's a creep. Smug, little know-it-all. Always was.
The Hulk then charges forward and tackles Sasquatch through another wall after that.
But he never had 3 murders in him. You're something else, aren't you? See, nobody ever loved Walt for his mind. They only ever wanted the jock. So, he only feels needed when he's furry. And he stays that way for months. Getting warm.
The Sasquatch snarls.
Very clever.
The monster lifts a claw before sinking its nails into the Hulk's chest.
Clever little monster.
The Hulk's answer to this is ripping the Sasquatch's arm out of the socket. The giant now believes he's pieced it all together.
So, Lankowski stayed as Sasquatch too long, which left a door open and you got in. In through the green door. You got into Hotshot's girlfriend too, right?
The Hulk slams Sasquatch on a nearby wall and begins to punch him repeatedly.
What was that about? You wanted my attention? Why? What are you? Tanarak? Mephisto? Something worse? Who's in there?
A mischievous grin spreads on Sasquatch's face.
See for yourself, little monster. Behind you,
he says, pointing to the reflective window of a nearby operating room. At first, Hulk laughs at the cheap attempt to distract him. And then he sees it. And he freezes. And he can't believe it. The face sneering back at him is his father's.
Little monster,
his father repeats, more insidious than before. The Hulk, for the first time in a long time, whispers,
Daddy?
His father slashes down again with his claw, ripping the Hulk's lip off his face.
Didn't I say? I've always known what you would become since the beginning. I've always known that quick mind of his, those brilliant intuitive leaps. From the day he was born, it was you. Always you. The monster inside. I wish I'd killed you in the crib.
No, the Hulk bellows, jumping back to his feet to attack his father. Sasquatch still has the advantage. Sasquatch lifts up the Hulk and throws him through the closest wall. It sounds like hell on earth inside the hospital. Like a dozen earthquakes at once. Sasquatch and the Hulk are going to knock the whole building down. People are attempting to evacuate, but it's not that easy. There are people who can't be moved. People on life support. The staff was not prepared for this. The Hulk puts his hands up in defense.
It's not you. Can't be.
The Sasquatch hisses.
You can see ghosts. You can smell lies. You'd know if it weren't. I'm the father you killed, Bruce. Back through the green door. Back from death. Stay back.
The Hulk orders him. Sasquatch continues to stomp forward through the hole in the wall. He stabs Hulk again. This time, he punctures the Hulk's abdomen with his razor-sharp claws.
Feel that?
The monster asks.
My claws in your gut. That's the proof. Who else could ever hurt you like this? Who else can make the monster scared?
The Hulk kicks the monster off of him.
No,
he huffs.
No, you're just a man. A twisted old man who killed his wife. Tried to kill his son. Make him wish you had. You scare him. You scare Banner. You think that gives you power over me? Think that makes you important? Special? No, not special. Puny!
The Hulk charges up an attack and hits Sasquatch with a hit so hard it sends him crashing through multiple rooms.
You're nothing. Any power you have, someone gave you. Who brought you back? Who opened the door? Tell me, or I'll smash you.
As the Hulk gets angrier, the pigment of his skin fluctuates. He charges forward for a follow-up attack, but Sasquatch is already standing to his feet.
It needs a host personality to work in this world, to function. It burrows in, wears our souls like masks on a stage. What does? The Hulk spits back. Tell me, what's behind you?
The Hulk throws another powerful punch, but this time Sasquatch catches it. The collision sends a concussive feedback that pushes back the surrounding medical equipment.
Every light casts a shadow. In every mirror, there is a reflection. As above, so below.
Sasquatch lifts his claw into the air. Then he jams them back down and gouges the Hulk's eyes out.
Take a good look, my special boy. You'll see a darker shadow than yours. Gamma made Lankowski your equal. He just didn't know how to use it. That's all. Do you understand what needs to be done? I smell the sick and the weak. I smell children.
Sasquatch raises his claw. Green blood drips from his nails. And then he stabs them down into the Hulk's chest.
How many? How many do I have to? Huh?
At that moment, something hits Sasquatch that causes him to step back and stop in his tracks. He looks over his shoulder and finds Jackie McGee and a security guard carrying a taser.
A taser? Huh.
Sasquatch pulls the injectors from his arm.
Remember all of this.
He raises his claw and slashes down, killing the guard, and then raises it again to Jackie.
Is the monster's fault.
The Hulk is blinded, but he can still sense where the Sasquatch is in the room. Before Sasquatch can squat down, Hulk grabs his arm and puts him in a chokehold. Out of nowhere, a green current of energy cracks around the two creatures. The Hulk tells Sasquatch,
Gamma, it made Lankowski what he is. Made you. Keeps your green door open, doesn't it? Doesn't it? But I eat Gamma.
Sasquatch writhes in pain as it tries to escape the Hulk's grasp. All of the Gamma is siphoned from the furry beast, forcefully turning it back into Walter Lankowski. Jackie watches it all unfold. What? What did you... The Hulk wipes the blood from his punctured eyes and waits for them to grow back before answering.
Gamma restoration. I absorb it. Makes me stronger. Took all his. No more Sasquatch. No more Dad. Or whatever that was.
Jackie lifts up Walter's arm and feels for a pulse. He's alive. You saved him.
Shut up, McGee. Hulk snarls. You're with a local paper. But you drove across how many states to find me? And you couldn't even look at Banner. I noticed. Can't look right at me either. Whatever this is to you, whatever he owes, it's personal. The truth. Now.
Unbeknownst to her, tears begin to form in Jackie's eyes. I've still got a man's blood on me. Maybe because of... Alright. When I was 15, you destroyed my home, my whole neighborhood. And they said to never look you in the eye. But I did. I saw you that day. And I have questions. The Hulk raises his eyebrow and analyzes the reporter.
All right. One question. But make it quick.
Now, tears are pouring down Jackie's cheeks. She cannot stop the unexpected overflow of emotion. Fine, she tells him. Here's my quick question. How do I do it? How? How do I get to be what you are? The Hulk hesitates. He thinks to himself and decides not to answer.
Just go home, McGee. Go home.
As the Hulk exits the building, Walter regains his consciousness.
Jackie?
He mutters in confusion.
What happened here?
You happened, she answers. You did this. Don't you remember? Sasquatch killed a man right in front of me. I don't even know his name. Walter lowers his head in embarrassment.
He's gone,
he answers. The Hulk? Jackie asks. Yeah, he just...
No, not the Hulk,
Walter snaps.
Sasquatch. I could always feel him, but now I can't. He's gone. Where did he go?
Outside, the Hulk steps 1 foot after the other through the parking lot. A small glimmer from a nearby car window catches his eye. The Hulk looks at the window and catches his reflection. To his surprise, he finds his father once again sneering back at him with that insidious grin of his. You know what they say. There are 2 people in every mirror. There's the one you can see, and there's the other one, the one you don't want to.